Hello viewers, I am Kausalya. Today we are going to solve problem 7 in exercise 9.1. The problem is, from a point on the ground, the angles of elevation of the bottom and top of a transmission tower fixed at the top of a 20-meter high building are 45 and 60. Find the height of the tower. Okay. First, what are all the things we are having? We are having a point on the ground and we are having angle of elevation, right? We are having two angle of elevation. And you see what are all the things we are having? We are having a transmission tower and a high building, right? And there is a point on the ground, right? So first thing is, you see, the transmission tower is fixed at the top of a 20-meter high building, right? So let this be your 20-meter high building, right? So this is 20-meter high. And the transmission tower is fixed at the top, okay, of this building. So just for clarity, I am drawing like this, okay? Let this be your transmission tower which is fixed here. Then from a point on the ground, okay, there is some point on the ground, and from this point, right, the angle of elevation, the angles of elevation of the bottom and top of the tower is 45 and 60. So from this, the angle of elevation of the top of the tower and as well as the bottom of the tower are given, right? So this is your top and this is your bottom. Now tell me which angle will be 45 degree and which angle will be 60 degree. You see, here you are standing and you are looking at this bottom part, right? So here the angle of elevation between little bit small. So here when you compare these two values, 45 is the least one. So here we are considering taking 45 degree. But you are looking at the top, then you have to tilt your head little bit high. So when you look at the top of the tower, here the angle of elevation will be 60 degrees. Right. Am I making sense here? Because you are standing at the same position, okay? You are not at all moving. So from this position, you are observing a transmission tower. So when you look at the top of the tower, that is you have to bend your head, right? Bend your head upwards. So, sorry, not bend. You have to move your head upwards. So by a larger angle to see the top, right? So here it is 60 degree. But in order to look at the bottom, you have to move your head upwards little bit, okay? Not comparatively high. So here the angle is 45 degrees, right? Now we have to find the height of the tower. So what is the height of the tower? This is your tower and you have to find this value, right? So you see, I have drawn a diagram here, right? So there is a building. On the top of the building there is a transmission tower and you are looking at the top of the transmission tower as well as bottom of the transmission tower with some angles, right? Now the thing is, so finally you have to find this AB, right? So first consider this triangle, right? Consider the triangle BCD. So in this triangle BCD, here you see, we know the angle and we know the value of opposite side, right? So the main thing is, you see, for these two triangles, right? For the triangle BCD and for the triangle ACD, this side CD is common, right? So this side CD forms your adjacent side for both the triangle. For the triangle BCD, CD is the adjacent side. Similarly, for the triangle ACD, again CD is the adjacent side. So here we are finding the value of CD first. Therefore, this is your angle and this is your opposite and this is your adjacent side, right? So what is the term that relates opposite and adjacent side? It is tan, right? So here we are writing tan 45 degree is equal to BC by CD, right? So what is the value of BC? It is 20. It is given in the problem. So just substitute. So here what happens? 1 into CD is CD, right? Therefore CD is equal to 20 meters, right? So here we have calculated the value of CD, which is adjacent side. Now the next thing is, again consider the triangle, bigger one, ACD. Right. So ACD, again you see we need to find this value. So to this angle 60 degree, this is your opposite side and this is your adjacent side. So again make use of the formula tan 60, right? Because we already know the value of CD. So tan 60 is nothing but what is the opposite side of this bigger triangle? It is AC. So AC divided by CD, right? So again this AC can be written as AB plus BC, right? So AC is modified as AB plus BC by CD. So now you know the value of BC as well as CD. You see BC is given in the problem and CD just now we have calculated, right? So just substitute the values here. So here it is BC is 20 and again CD is 20. Okay, just substitute, right? And again do the cross multiplication. So root 3 into 20 becomes 20 root 3, which is equal to AB plus 20. We need to find AB. Therefore, I am moving this 20 to the left hand side. So plus 20 will become minus 20. So 20 root 3 minus 20 is equal to AB. Again you see 20 is common. So I am taking 20 outside. So the remaining term will be root 3 minus 1. Therefore, the value of AB, that is height of the tower, is 20 into root 3 minus 1 meters. Okay, writing the unit is mandatory. So it is very, very important. Kindly take care of this too. Right. Now we will move with the next problem. So problem number 8. So here a statue 1.6 meter tall stands on the top of a pedestal. Right. There is a pedestal, right? And there is a statue. Right. There is a statue which stands on this pedestal. So what is the length of the statue? It is 1.6 meter tall. So here it is 1.6 meters. Right. From a point on the ground, the angle of elevation of the top of the statue is 60 degrees. And from the same point, the angle of elevation of the top of the pedestal is 45 degrees. Right. Find the height of the pedestal. Again, okay, the problem is very simple. Okay, don't get afraid. So here the thing is, you see, there is a point on the ground. So let this be the point. Right. Let this be the point on the ground here. Now, the angle of elevation of the top of the statue. So, this is your statue and this is your pedestal. Right. So, to the top of the statue, the angle of elevation is 60. So, from this point to this, here the angle is 60 degrees. Clear? Now, and from the same point, right, the angle of elevation of the top of the pedestal. So here this is your pedestal and this is your top portion of the pedestal, right? So to this point, you see the angle of elevation is 45 degrees, right? So here the simple twist is, instead of telling it as the bottom point of the statue, they had told as top of the pedestal. Both mean the same. Right, because only at the top of the pedestal we are placing the statue. So here they can tell us at the foot of the statue the angle of elevation is 45 degree. It also holds the same meaning. But here just to confuse us, they had told that the angle of elevation at the top of the pedestal is 45 degrees. Right. Now we have to find the height of the pedestal. So here obviously this is your height of the pedestal. We need to find this one, right? Same as the previous problem, right? So the procedure here is, again, you see. So this is the diagram, right? This is the pedestal and upon the pedestal there is a statue and height of the statue is 1.6 and the respective angles at the top of the statue is 60. At the top of this pedestal is 45, right? That's it. So here again consider the smaller triangle, okay? Consider the triangle BCD, okay? This one. So tan 45 degree, it is nothing but opposite by adjacent side, right? So here the opposite side is BD and adjacent side is BC. BC or CB, okay? So tan 45 is 1 and we don't know the value of BD as well as BC. So here you see the value of BD is equal to CB, right? The next thing is consider the bigger triangle. So again consider this triangle. So here again choose the same tan value, right? Because this is your opposite and this is your adjacent side. We need a term which is present in the opposite side. So here tan 60 is given by AB by BC, right? So again this AB can be written as AD plus DB, right? So the same thing here it is done. Tan 60 is AB by BC and AB is written as AD plus BD divided by BC. So here the value of tan 60 is root 3. Right. So here you see, previously we have proved that the value of CB or BC, okay, the value of BC is equal to BD, right? So here in the place of BC, just substitute BD and the value of AD is 1.6, right? So now just do a cross multiplication. So when you cross multiply, what happens? Root 3 into BD is equal to 1.6 plus BD. So again, I am moving these BD terms together. So here this plus term will become minus. So root 3 BD minus BD is equal to 1.6. So when I take this BD commonly outside, here I will be having root 3 minus 1. Right. So the value of BD is nothing but 1.6. When I move this to the right hand side, this term occupies the denominator part, right? And the next step is we are doing rationalizing. So rationalizing is nothing but, you see, whenever I am having two terms with a minus sign, I have to multiply with the same term. Okay, I have to multiply and divide with the same term with the opposite sign. So here I am having minus, so here it is plus. So root 3 plus 1 divided by root 3 plus 1, right? So when you multiply 1.6 into root 3 plus 1 divided by A minus B into A plus B. So what is the formula? It is A square minus of B square. So in the place of A I am having root 3. So root 3 whole square minus 1 square. So root 3 whole square becomes 3, right? So here it is 3 minus 1 and here it is 2. So when 1.6 is divided by 2, what happens? It is 0.8. So here the thing is, let me show you. 1.6 by 2. So I am multiplying by 10 to remove this decimal point. So here it will be 16 by 20. So when you solve, you can solve by using that is 4 by 5, right? So that is fourth table. So 4 by 5. So 4 by 5 is, again you see, we can't divide 4 by 5 because 4 is a smaller number. So you just add 0. So here I am keeping a dot. So 8 5s are 40, right? So here the answer is 0.8 and this root 3 plus 1 remains as such. So height of the pedestal is 0.8 into root 3 plus 1 meters, right? That's all. If you have any doubt, let me know in the comment section. Thank you.